Bronx Journal. They call themselves The What. It is a team comprised of artistic people from Washington Heights, Harlem, the Bronx. They provide a space for local artists as well as those from neighboring areas to present their work. It is a response to the lack of vacant spaces for artistic expression in the uptown area of New York City. Here to tell us more about this group is Divino DeNegro, the co-founder of The What. Welcome to the program. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me the basic question. What is what?
Well, the what, just like the introduction said, is a response to the lack of space for expression, artistic expression. In the downtown area, you can find plenty of venues for shows, whether big venues, small venues, whether bars or even art galleries, where you can have shows with major artists, you know, who go on major tours, and then also local artists who develop a following. But many of these artists come from neighborhoods where the amount of space for that kind of expression or ability doesn't really take place. And a lot of artists actually come from Harlem and Washington Heights and the Bronx, but there are venues that are specifically for artists.
So these are people from the neighborhoods, people from the barrio creating their own space so that they don't get left out. Absolutely.
Everybody on the team, including myself, is from Washington Heights, Harlem, and the Bronx. And it's a group of 7 of us who all take on different responsibilities, whether planning the event, hosting the event, DJing, live photography, handling the money.
So what happens like in one of your typical events?
Well,
is it poetry? Is it music? Is it art?
It's everything.
It's
actually
a little bit of all.
The thing that we do is that we collide all the different forms of art, because, for example, the what literally means Washington Heights Art Tantra. So
it stands for something.
Right. It's
Washington Heights.
Washington Heights Art Tantra.
Okay.
So what we do is that we may feature visual art or live art right there on the spot from a visual artist. We may have a collection of photos from whoever is our live photographer that night. We also have live DJs. We'll have live rappers, singers, poets, and then we also as features. And then as well, we'll include having the open mic, which gives people who are the audience a chance to present their work if they wish to.
So what kind of spaces are we talking about? When you do get a space, I mean, do you hold on to it? Is this a temporary, like a gallery showing an exhibit for a while, and then you move on to a different space? Tell me about the spaces that you use, the locales.
Well, as far as in the Washington Heights area, which is the headquarters of the What, we're specifically located at the Vibe Lounge, which is on 175th Street in Audubon. And it's a relatively new space. It's been there.
So that's your home base?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they've only been around for maybe almost 2 years. And we've recently started doing shows downtown. Our first show downtown was at Jay-Z's club, the 4040 Club. And we had a really great event. They want to do it again. So there's going to be another What show down at the 4040 Club, let's say in January.
Mm-hmm. So again, how often do they happen for you?
In Washington Heights, we do it every month. It's
once a month.
It's every first Thursday of the month. So, like, for example, the next one uptown will be December 2nd. But the next What show will be downtown, November 21st at the Lit Lounge. And that show specifically is a benefit show for a children's dojo, you know, for the Three Treasures Association's children's dojo.
You mentioned children. Who is your typical audience? How is your audience? Who attends?
Our audience varies.
Young people?
From anywhere from older teenagers all the way up to people in the 40s and 50s.
And how do you promote it? How do you get the word out that you're having one of these events?
Well, mainly through the means of like Facebook and Twitter, also with email blasts and things like that. We never really found the need, especially of doing, let's say, like physically taking it onto the street, but that's the new implementation as far as how we put it out to the people.
I understand that you are dealing with rap in terms of taking it back to its roots.
Yeah, I mean, another thing that takes place at our shows is that sometimes we may have a cipher at the end of the show. and it just naturally happens. It's not something that when I'm hosting, I call for all the rappers in the place. Come on, we're gonna go to the front. No, what happens is that, you know, people continue wanting to. People get inspired, you know, and the thing about inspiration is that you want to let it out when you feel it, you know.
So people get up spontaneously,
yeah,
and perform.
So well, let's say if the show is over, right, and we're just, you know, at that point we're just playing music. Sometimes people may go outside, you know, and do it. But just to keep it safe, you know, if people feel like, if there's a whole group of people that just feel like continuing to spit poetry or spit rhymes, then we'll just do it right there.
So where do you see the group going? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Wow. Hopefully.
What are the plans?
Well, I can honestly tell you that I would love for, you know, if it's not us, you know, then somebody else, but I would love for it to be us, to create something like our own venue that specifically homes the local artists. You know, something like, let's say, the New Yorican Poets Cafe in the Lower East Side. Right. You know, and a few other places like, you know, like in Brooklyn or in Harlem. You know, I would love to bring that to the Heights, because especially in the Heights, most of the venues, you know, are mainly for dancing, and, you know, or they use restaurants and things like that to have artists perform. But we need space specifically for live performing artists.
What kind of reaction do you get from your audiences? Because what you're doing is you're setting up something that's different, that's not found most places in New York. Don't have that kind of an artistic expression, let it all out place. So, I mean, is it well received?
Yeah, the people love it. I mean, the reason why, one of the reasons why the people love it, especially people in the Heights, is because they don't have to leave the community. That's one. You know, a lot of people in the Heights
don't just walk there.
Yeah, a lot of people from our area don't necessarily like to go downtown, you know, because either that's like an hour train ride, or especially in the nighttime, you know, and then also it could be, you know, a $20 cab ride, you know.
Is this all in English, or is there some performances in Spanish as well? Because you're in Washington Heights, I would think some of it is in Spanish, right?
Nosotros lo hacemos en español también.
Okay, there you go. All right. Listen, you brought a video, and I want to watch that. Tell me a little bit about what this particular video is about.
Okay, well, this comes from an artist called Schematics. He's one of the members of the What Team. This video is called New Names. He did this video during the summertime at the 7 Points, the 5 Points location in Queens. If you don't know it by name, if you ride the 7 train right around the Queensboro Plaza, you see these big buildings that are just covered in graffiti, and it's a beautiful place. Artists come from all over the world just to include something.
Okay,
you know.
So let's watch it. We'll see the graffiti as well as the rapping, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's watch this video.
Schematics music. Yeah, the new name Schematics. I slew cane on average, an ounce daily. I bounce, baby, to make cabbage. OT all summer, I'm gone till November. Orion to keep me warm. I pack my August in December. Slender Dominican, back bending the women of the industry. So while I'm rapping, no round up until I finish him. Sub-Zero, the icebreaker. I might take it skydiving off a skyscraper with no parachutes. Darth Vader with attitude. I'm from the era of rhyme sayers where crime pays. The prime players, so 9 sprayers with the blast and shit. And they come after you. Turn the heat up with the oven, serving you 12. One in the chamber, a baker's dozen. The new name Schematics for new lanes, I've had it. They so average and my flow is so savage. They so lavish, and while they concerned with cashes, I'm so past them in the fast lane swerving, sipping beer and bourbon on a crash course for certain, putting that work in all of your balls. With 2 handguns, a loose cannon, minus my anger management counselor. I'm Bruce Banner, the Barry Bonds of music. I'm juicing, what does it matter? Ain't no proving I'm abusing my usage of good grammar. Moving them with suit and groove, smooth as baby food, and lately making late. Shout out to 6 Cents, baby.
I win.
Wow, that was very interesting. Tell me a little bit more about how you came. I mean, is this a collaboration of the group?
Yeah.
All
Well,
7 of you participated in this production?
Actually, no. I was supposed to be at that video shoot, but I was kind of caught up handling some other business. And so what happened was that JD, the director of the video, he's actually just started directing videos pretty recently, but his talent is unquestioned, especially if, if you pay attention to the video, the effects of the video. You not only do you have the colors, but then you also through the form of editing, you see the colors bouncing off of each other, and you don't and it doesn't cloud either. And then also in the song you have sound effects, let's say from Street, not Street Fighter, but Mortal Kombat. And another thing is that one of the special things about this video is that you see the Schematic's name in the background. They actually did that as a surprise for him. So they did that mural. It took them maybe like 2 days to do that mural of his name, and he was not expecting that at all.
So is what the group into producing in the future going to be producing this kind of videos and more videos? Is that part of your plan?
Well, actually, we've already put together 2 pieces of footage under the What, where the first piece of footage was a documentary, which is with myself and Eva, who is also the co-founder of the United Now.
And that is online somewhere where people can watch it? Where?
You can see that on YouTube and also on, if you reach me on Facebook.
So how do people reach you on Facebook? We're out of time.
Divino DeNegro. That's my name everywhere.
So
Twitter,
Divino
Facebook.
DeNegro, and they'll find you on Facebook, and they'll find all about the what?